about going live now. It's preparing.
All right. Hello, everyone. I think we're live on YouTube. Hey, everybody, welcome to
the live on YouTube. We're live.
Sounds good.
About going live now. It's preparing.
Yep. So hello everybody, welcome back to the Eureka Crypto Hour. I'm here with my friend Victor. We're going to discuss what's going on in this crypto space recently, next, and what's going on. I'll give it to
Hey guys.
Hello everybody. Okay, we'll give it a little bit of time for those who are joining us tonight. Hey everybody. Yeah,
I think we're live too. You're live now.
We're gonna get started. Welcome everyone. A lot of things have been happening in the background. We wanted to do this last week, but just wanted to wait for most stuff to happen because recently we can see a bit of slowdown in the crypto space, and we are pretty much involved in the crypto space because we created a blockchain that we're pretty happy with, Eureka blockchain. We have a crypto exchange and all that. So the crypto space, the pulse, having a pulse on what's going on in the crypto space is pretty important to us anyway, regardless of the trading which we actually do, which takes advantage of all that data, whatever you can gather from what's going on and what might happen next. So yeah, not too much happened last few weeks, but I expected the current market environment to basically give us a kind of direction in the midterm, but it's taking too long. This consolidation is taking too long, which basically tells us that whatever this gets resolved with, it's going to be explosive. And we like explosive. We like directions, we like trends. That's what we do. And that's how we've been moving this. So hello everybody who's joining us.
I think we're going to watch the later part of the video they recorded. We're recording it already, so I think the recorded part will be available.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Okay, so the last few weeks have been pretty busy from our side. We're like getting involved in multiple businesses. Some businesses we are sharing here in our social media. You can see them anywhere. mostly we are getting involved with percentages in those businesses, and mostly like we're getting with 40, 50, 60% of each one of these businesses, and these businesses have like dedicated teams that are working nonstop to make sure those businesses succeed. So we're pretty happy on that front. It's kind of like building a pretty diverse portfolio, because we want to build a big backing, something that's gonna give kind of I mean, there is a debate over what gives a cryptocurrency an intrinsic value, but we know that having something that's backing it up like this will likely give it a much higher intrinsic value, and that's what we're working here. We're gonna we're gonna keep like buying back and burning Eureka coin until it gets to 10 million in circulation, and we have a vested interest in doing so because we are active participants in the markets. We own some of Eureka, of course. We have a foundation that's based on we have two foundations, of course, one of development and the humanitarian one. They're both based on Eureka, and they have holdings there, and we have a vested interest in this blockchain to succeed. And talking about success here, it's basically adoption. It's basically having a functioning ecosystem where ERK is needed as the gas, as the petrol of that system, which of course it happens organically most of the time when you have an amazing product like the one we have, because basically it's objectively a state-of-the-art blockchain that has everything that we learned from a decade of cryptocurrency. Of course, we've been planning to have a cryptocurrency for the last 3 years or 2 years. Like the idea was a bit old, but the execution, and once we got it, and we decided to have the best kind of component that blockchain gave us so far, and we are pretty much invested in this space. So we're looking at it, we're keeping a close eye on it, and we need to just always be in the know, because at the end it's in this world, like whatever success story there in the current world or in history, you gotta find that it's all about knowing more. It's a race for information, and in today's world with the internet, with being disconnected, not disconnected. It was never been easier to do research and gather data, and then apply theories and ideas on them, and then get with conclusions, then go with those conclusions, and hopefully like create a success story. And this is our philosophy here, and we're just building on what we see as the future. And yeah, this is what's been happening around. We have, you just follow us on in this channel, on YouTube or Facebook, or in Chatterbox or in YouView. You can just keep track on that. Some things are going to be made for you, some things maybe you're not going to be interested in, but at the end, they're all businesses that are feeding into this pool that's buying back and burning ERK. And we're using, somebody asked me about the percentages specifically. So we're going to just be buying back and burning until we get to 10 million coins, but like the exact percentage, you were using 80% of the net profits and for the buyback and burn, and then we're keeping 10% for growth so that we have more net profits. And that's basically the idea. And we're buying ERK for ourselves because we know that this machine is backing it, and we know enough about demand and supply laws, and we want to take advantage of that. So we are actually longs in this market and bulls, because even if like we're gonna gather a lot of it, so we'll probably be a whale in it, but we're gonna be a bullish, friendly whale. So that's for sure, because we have a vested interest in the success of this coin. I'm just gonna maybe jump to or move to you, Vector, or maybe jump to talking about Bitcoin first, and then give you.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look at the market.
Yeah, let's look at that. Is there? Okay, I'll just and keep an eye on questions we're receiving.
Okay.
If you can interact with us, guys, we're a bit. Okay, wait. We had the same problem as last time.
Okay, I need to make you the host now. Done.
Okay, so let's look at some charts. We didn't have the live last week because nothing really happened, and you can see this is the monthly candlestick. We're looking at the monthly chart in Bitcoin, and this monthly candlestick shows a lot of indecision. So whatever we were saying it in words earlier, uncertainty, things are so uncertain, and the battle is being basically is in a tie right now. This is what's showing what was this. If we look at the bigger picture here in the monthly charts, we can see that since 2017, we've been getting into this consolidation. We've been kind of looking for what the market participants see as a fair price in this time. And if we look at it in the big picture, of course, okay, this is a chart that ends here, but the idea is this makes perfect sense because this is the bullish phase after the halving, and this is where like exuberance happened here, like extreme irrational, and then we get into like going back to like just being rational, but then here it gets too irrational because a lot of people both here got into the hype, so they need now to just get out of this because they're so afraid, they're feeling bad about getting on the top on top, and yeah, like feeling bad is really a strong sentiment. Like yesterday or something, I didn't get this news here because I don't think it's something that's worth sharing, but some trader in some retail trader in Robinhood, I think, I know like the problems with that's going on there right now, like just stocks like Hertz, like bankrupt companies going up in price. That this shows a lot of irrationality because yeah, the world. So yeah, the idea is that person, like, unfortunately he committed suicide because he had a lot of debt in Robinhood because of he started just taking credit and trying to buy things that are going up, and that's the problem that happens generally in the top of big extended moves, and it made sense for the price to go lower, but then it got too irrational on the way down because we started having panic and fear, and then we started having some people from the people who bought here who were thinking about, okay, maybe we're not going to have it anymore because they just didn't put it in the frame of the cycle. And by the way, we've been around in this period, and we've made fantastic money. So you can trade really consolidations like these and on the long term because they give you good direction
Nabil,
short term.
Nabil,
Yep.
I can't see your screen. It seems you stop and reshare.
Like you can.
Your screen is not sharing here. I don't know why. Share again. Let's see.
Okay. Can you see it now? Can you see it?
I can't see it, but just go on. Just go on.
You can see.
I can't see it. Maybe it's from my side. Yeah. I can't. I don't know why.
Let me just one second. Can you see? Okay. I think it's showing up in the live itself. So all right. Yeah. So yeah. So we had we've been trading around this area because these moves like these give us actually opportunities in the short term. What's going on right now is that like opportunities gets much scarcer because of this, because we got into the end of this drawdown consolidation. But this is telling us another thing as well. It's telling us that this is the place where you should be looking probably 24/7, and this is what we're doing here. Me and Victor, because this is a place where we want to know what's going to happen next, because what's going to happen next is going to be a period of time that's going to be full of opportunities, and we want to make sure we profit from that. So we as traders, we look for trends in whatever time frame. So if we have like clear trends on the 5-minute time frame, that's going to be smooth sailing. We don't have that right now. I'm gonna just go back in zooming in, and you're gonna see this closer. And the right way to play it right now is to be very conservative. Even though I'm not the kind of conservative, like what tells about me that I'm not a conservative trader is that I've been trading Bitcoin since 2015, 2014. So probably I'm the furthest from conservative. I take risk. I'm aggressive when I see opportunities, but yeah, at some point you need to be conservative, aggressive, and this is what's going down right now. I want to see more. I want to see direction, and I want to see this getting solved. Of course, by the time it gets solved, we're gonna have opportunities. We did like I don't know, maybe I got into probably 10 or 12 day trades. I lost maybe 8 of them or something, but before that I won't made like they brought back more than we lost. But the idea is this is like not too much opportunity, barely like minimum profit. Like it's not going to be the same as the perspective that we had last time. And before the crash of March here, we can see the pattern that was being created here. So let's see if we can just replay it. Okay. So
I'm with you, boss.
hmm?
I'm with you. I'm watching. I'm just in I'm just in the chat here too.
Awesome. Yeah, just keep an eye on the chat if you have. Okay. Why is this moving? Okay, so just just to show you, this is what's been happening, and in this period of time here around August, we were basically flagging on the monthly, and it was a clear good pattern in here. After long consolidation, we have a pretty good pullback, and the environment was totally different than now. And we created this kind of cup and handle situation that was pretty like bullish. Also, what was happening, people were waiting for the halving. We know that we had a rally, and the rally of the halving actually brought us back to where we are now. If we didn't have that crash of March, probably like most likely the bullish run of the halving was going to take us much higher, and it was going to break us from this trend line, and that was going to be very strong. In addition, of course, to the shift in momentum that was going to be very clear at that point with the rally of the halving. Corona changed a lot of that, so we needed to readapt and see it from like new eyes. And basically right now it couldn't be more uncertain, not only in this market but in other ones. I don't know why it's going too slow, but yeah, just the um I think you get the point. So the Corona crash changed the structure like a lot in the short term, and now we're stuck in this triangle, and we need to be careful. I'm just gonna go back to just zoom in a little bit. In the weekly chart, we can see like these two lines here and these two lines here are the most important ones right now. This is the channel. If we break over this one, we increase the odds significantly in favor of bulls, and then when we go above this one, we're out in the clear. On the other hand, if we break these two, probably we're gonna test the low of this triangle. I just wanna keep it simple and move to something else. But basically, here in this one, we have the volume on the way up is a bit worrying. It shows that it's kind of like looks more like a bounce than an impulse move that's gonna have flag and then keep going. But at the same time, we don't have much room on the downside, and yeah, shorting with the current sentiment and fundamentals is a bit too crazy. It's hard like I'm talking about long-term short-term, of course, because at the end, like we have those like long-term positions where we have an idea where this is the place where the long-term picture is canceled, and this is where the long-term picture is triggered and stuff like that. And then we trade on the short term, because if you want to trade solely based on looking at the short term, without looking at what's going on in the long term, I think you decrease your odds very significantly. I'm pretty sure some people, this is working for them, some traders, and I'm pretty happy for them. But I think it's very dangerous, and I've never traded this way, because at the end, like, you have a direction that's based on on what's going on in the monthly and weekly and daily, and then you based on that. So if you see that there's a bias towards the bulls, you're gonna I myself, I would get positions as a bull, and uh, basically look for those entries as a bull. If I see that the bigger picture is telling me this is a bearish market, I'm going to be getting position as a bear. So I'm going to just be like waiting and then bouncing, and then shorting in both bouts. So that's basically the idea. Like whatever my bigger picture is going to be the bias with which I'm going to be trading on the short term. So that I already have those odds in my favor. I already have the odds of long-term trend, and then I can make those high probability entries and those good risk reward ratios, and you're just gonna like be profitable. And that's the whole idea. It's beating the market and being profitable whatever the market does, and that's what traders should do. So yeah, this is the weekly chart. I'm just gonna go back to the daily chart so we can see things that are a bit messy. We have a lot of like stops getting triggers all the way up and down and up and down, and we're stuck in this area that I'm talking about. Levels are 8.5 and then 8 or 8.1, and on the way up 10, 10, 50, 10, 100, and then 10, 500, which is basically the most important one. If this one breaks, brace for impacts on the way up. I'm just I want to zoom in a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to be very helpful. We see that Bitcoin today is drifting lower, still not telling us too much. Of course, if we get low to these kind of ranges, it's gonna be a good place to look for bullish entries and be a bit more aggressive in bullish way. But of course, not as aggressive as before. As I showed in the monthly chart, this is totally different. The volatility is much different. The direction is much different. Everything is much different. You want to be careful in these areas. So the hourly, the same. It's giving us price. Now, the idea here is that like when we have those, the fact that the bulls are defending these pullbacks is really huge in my opinion. Like holding these levels mean that probably the bottom is going to be around 8.5 or 8 if we get that. While like, because after like in a normal chart, if I didn't know it's Bitcoin and I was looking specifically just technically, and that's why of course you need, it's kind of like a puzzle, and you need to always add those information. And as I said earlier, it's a race for information, so you want to just keep that race and try to be Usain Bolt and try to get the first, or at least one of the first. And yeah, like if I looked at this just technically, I would say this is a perfect risk reward ratio for bears, clearly, for shorts, and that's why we have a lot of shorts piling in. But the fact that the bulls are defending it this way and creating this, what arguably can be called a bullish flag, it's really strong. It shows and how the volume is not increasing. So we don't have really big volume of sellers. Sellers are not really that convinced anyway. So we have those who looked at it technically and thought that this is a good place to be, but the volume is telling us otherwise. Telling us there are not too many. Not too many people are thinking shorts, and at the same time, bulls are holding these levels. So this is strong for Bitcoin, and this probably will mean that we're gonna have bullish continuation instead of breaking to the downside. But yeah, that doesn't mean we should just get position here unless the size is gonna be too small, because we can still drift to 8.5 or 8, and we don't want to lose that much. It depends on the trading style, of course. For those who have like money separately put there for trading and they're ready to put it there and wait for the trades to mature, months or at least weeks and months and years, that would be a totally different situation. But for us, it's kind of the liquidity money. So basically, we use the money as well to keep this empire going. And yeah, it's totally different perspective. So we're not gonna just be um, so like buying something and then waiting for it, because yes, I would agree with buying here and just forgetting about it a little bit, but then just watch these kind of levels. If you want to play it out, then you're gonna exit in these levels and then try to find entry here. If you don't break these levels, you just stay. That would be a good swing trade, but again, sizing should be based on that, because you can have a lot of drawdown before the trade goes to your favor. So um, I don't know. I'll just move maybe to Victor, give us the other perspective. And we've been working together on the charts and all that, and we practically agree on everything. He also showed his different perspective, which is amazing. And from both our angles, we're probably telling you the same thing. So
Definitely.
thank you, Victor. I'll stop sharing this.
Hey guys. All right. So I'll be looking towards giving us what I'm watching on gold in the technical part. And you know, guys know fundamentally the market is really, really unstable now. And we're really going on with a stepping stone. We're not going harm inside the market, because we really understand that with the situation of the world right now, uh, is very, very sensible to be careful with the market as well, because it's affecting everything. So if you notice and you're on the signal channels, you'll notice that our signals are a bit less than before, like usual. And that is just simply because we are not going harm on the market, like I've said before. So basically, you can see that on Bitcoin, Nabil has done his due diligence on that. And when looking at gold right now, and I will definitely share my screen in a second to let you know what I'm seeing technically. So Nabi, I think you make me the host so I can do this. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So sharing right now. Okay, so basically on gold, you notice that if you go to the daily time frame, which I normally start my analysis with, if you notice that we've been on a rally for a long time. So trying to trade this market, trying to trade this market very like going harm on this kind of a situation is just gambling, pure gambling, because there's no trend happening here right now. And as Nabil has said, when looking at the longer time frame, you definitely see some opportunities on the shorter time too, when there's not actually nothing to do in the market. But as a trader, definitely, if you go down to the lower time frames with all this range happening here, you can still trade it from point to point, and you can't be going very hard on that kind of situation. So on gold, I've been watching it, and I kind of been expecting it to come back to retest this 200 moving average here, which is around 1,500 area, and that has not happened. It has not happened, and when we had this.
Um, can are you looking at the charts now? Because I think I mean it's not showing.
Yeah, that's what happened to me
Yeah,
during
maybe
your
I
chat.
have
I
the
couldn't
same
see your
problem.
chat, so I had to go to my phone and see the chat. So you check your phone if you can see it from there.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
keep going, and
Okay, check if you can
not
see it
I'll
from
let
the
you
phone.
know.
All right. So when we had this double top happened here earlier with gold, I was expecting us to see a retracement down to. I was in this trade around this region here. Immediately we got to this point here, the market just seized there, and it has been a rally right from then. So on the 4 hours time frame, I've been playing from point to point there. If you've been in the Signal channel, you've been seeing some buy, sell trades
The chart.
and the rest.
Yep. Okay. Now it's good.
Okay, so on the 4 hours chart, immediately we had that this rally going on. I was trying to pick it off from the bottom, then sell at the point until we have that major breakout in the market. So till date, we're still having that consolidation happening, and you know what to watch out for. We want to see the market trending very well, like very clear, before we start going in big. And right now, if you see what's happening with gold at this point here, where it made this 1 2 3 move, I was hoping to see that continuation downward on the retest here to keep going down. But you can see that immediately we came up here, it couldn't respect, and it kept on doing the zigzag direction. So for now, there's just that mindset for us to draw the lines at a bigger point, and what we just patiently wait for that breakout. Once we have the breakout out of these zones, then we can start looking for buy or sell, whichever way the market goes. And when you go to the major pairs, which is Euro USD, USD CAD, and the rest, you notice that on the from the daily time frame, which I normally go to take on my chart, you notice that on USD CAD, immediately we had this push down to this zone here, which is the 1.3320 zone. We had that rejection happen there, and since then the market has not really made any major move. Apparently, what I'm watching to do here on the daily time frame is just wait for that break above this zone. Let me try to remove all these drawing tools first. I want to see a break above this zone here. Let me try to maximize a bit. I want to see a break above this zone here. Immediately we have that push above it, then we wait for that pullback, then take it up at least towards this area. That's what I'm watching to do with USD CAD. I'm really watching it tight. So going to the 4 hours time frame, we had a bit of engulfing this afternoon that happened there. I think earlier today, yeah, engulfed a little bit there, which is this one here. I was watching to see what the market would do at this point. So I want to really see that big push upwards, then wait for that pullback. I'm not really trying to, make the market trend. I want to see it happen itself, then, wait for it. That's what we do. We wait for the trend to happen before we take advantage. So that's the major pairs right now. USD CAD, gold that are in my watch list. Then USD JPY, nothing much really happening too. You can see the rally. We need to see some major break out of some regions before we start making any major move here. On this one now, on the 4 hours time frame which we are in, we need to see a break either below this area here. That is on a shorter time frame view. You need to see that break below here or above here, then wait for that pull back, then follow the trend wherever it's going, at least to this area here. So that's basically what I'm seeing technically right now, short term with the trades, and we're not really going ham because of there's no certainties here right now, because you can see how this market push up, and before you know it started coming down without respecting anything at all here, without respecting any resistance or support area. So technically we are just being cautious because the market is really in a situation where we don't know where it's actually going for now. So that's it technically. Then fundamentally, I think Nabil will give you major because we share news, and he have a brighter view with those fundamental parts. So I'll let Nabil do that. I'll be sharing my screen.
The Fed lost it.
So I'll be sharing my screen back to Nabil now, so that he'll give us some fundamentals he's seeing on the market. Yeah.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, this stops. Okay. So yeah, do we have some questions? Exactly. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. He gave you the possible scenarios, but then again, looking at where we are right now, we need to be very careful of what's going on fundamentally, like just basically whatever Jerome Powell says somewhere, or the numbers specifically. I mean, we saw. I'm just gonna maybe share my screen here, and then if we get some questions, I'll be around. Some relevant questions, of course. Okay. So let's just maybe start with this one, because I think that speaks volume about what's going on. Like the numbers are not really lining up with the performance of stock market. I'm just gonna go back to the stock market first. Something to talk about it. Okay, so we're almost close to our highs, and so the last high before the coronavirus, and of course, I mean, I'm not inclined. I'm not like really. I don't believe that fundamentals would move the markets, because I know that sentiment will move it a lot stronger. But we know that the numbers don't make sense fundamentally, and that's what's creating this big debate between purely value investing fundamental analysts who are strictly against what's going on, not strictly, but saying this is a big bubble that's gonna pop completely, and the those who see the sentiment angle and say, okay, maybe we're just gonna flag here a little bit, maybe wait a little bit, and then we're gonna have another way up. And especially when we add the printing of the Fed, like the Fed is making this very hard to navigate. These both these ideas, once we add what the Fed is doing, it gives us a whole different thing. Like probably I'm more inclined of just a consolidation, and we're gonna keep moving because of this. Like it's not gonna be hyperinflation yet in the US. Of course, we know that it's happened in just Lebanon. I have some Lebanese friends who were telling me that things are really very bad there, and just the currency plummeted. It has no value anymore. They say, like in Lebanese news, they say the USD is more expensive, or the rise in price of USD against their local currency. But of course, USD didn't rise in price. USD stayed USD, but their I don't remember what it is. Yes, but yeah, livre in French. Okay, um, I think it's not even livre. Okay, whatever the name of Lebanese currency is plummeted, and it's sad. Like maybe like when I'm talking about just idea, like just data, I just treat it as data. But at the end, like I'm pretty sad about what's happening now. This is the life of millions of people getting hurt because of policy, because of some people who decide these things, and that's the problem when you centralize power too much. Decentralization is a tool. It's like a gun when you're in trouble and you're gonna need a gun maybe. This is the idea. It's a tool, and that tool can be used for great things, and that's why we're very proud to have Eureka blockchain. It's the world needs stuff like this. We need to decentralize a lot of departments so that the world doesn't kind of troubles anymore. And I think monetary policy is one of them. I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are very well positioned to basically um, solve a lot of these issues. Like countries, for example, can use this metric system of this system of Bitcoin, because we need kind of like a measuring system to know if you're cheating or not. And we try to use gold, but gold should stay there and it can be controlled. Like until some president in 1971 decides to say, okay, you know what, we're not linking this to to gold anymore, because nobody's looking at it. We don't know how much gold is there because we can't really own this, because those people who are going to own this are just usual people that can be bribed, that can just be given whatever numbers they want, and you can't really force a strong, like a powerful entity to give you anything. That's what history is telling us. So we need kind of like some systems that are transparent and at the same time like decentralized. No, like we don't need to trust one single entity to be a good person, because I mean I have faith in humanity, and I think humanity is full of amazing people, but I don't think these people get to power maybe, or maybe not most of them. This is what I'm saying. Like the problem is that a big percentage of those who get a position where they should decide some good decisions for everybody else, they start making bad decisions, and at the end, at someday in the future, which was what's happening right now, was just someday in the future for those who were creating this policy, are now just looking at it as a reality, and people are rioting and in Lebanon, and they're really sad about the currency situation. They feel defeated, and this is not really the kind of scenarios that we want to see happening again and again and again. And I think that cryptocurrency and blockchain really bring in a lot of solutions in this area. The end, the whole goal is just to help humanity move in the right direction. Maybe I drifted a little bit here, but yeah, Lebanon, it was a bit personal. I didn't like what I was seeing. Yeah, going back to this. So this is the stock market. The Federal Reserve is making it very hard to navigate, basically. So going back here to the fundamentals, employment got back to where it was 15 years ago. So it's kind of like telling us the economic growth, we're back to 2030. We didn't do that, like the iPhone and smartphones and all that. Yeah, that kind of wealth was very profitable for a portion of people. But if we take the whole world as a community, we're actually in a worse situation, because employment is a very important metric of how well the economy is doing. And of course, when employment numbers plummet, we also have salaries plummet, and it goes that way, and it creates those kind of bad vicious cycles. But what's interesting in this is the fact that this is like going back, we went back to 15 years, but still this was very like not accurate. It was very overstated. And the way they overstated is that they were talking about those who um, basically are not working anymore, but they're not. So it means they're not creating any growth. They're not creating any economic growth or anything, but they're being calculated as well, just because they're still in the papers as workers, but they're not anymore, of course, and stuff like that. And some of them are still getting paid, but they're not going to get paid anymore. But anyways, the numbers needed to be screwed too much for it to give us this very positive, uh, positive relatively, which is just a 15 years low. Probably the real numbers are a bit too much lower than that, and this is bad because the economy is all interconnected. It's just one thing connected to the next, because when people lose jobs, they have less money in their pockets. When they have less money in their pockets, business people are going to lose a lot because they have nothing to, like, they don't have enough, they don't have the same demand because people don't have enough money to spend, and that takes that, and that takes that, and we get into what's happened right now, like a depression. Depression is bad. We want to avoid depression. A recession, we're already in it probably, based on the numbers, but the stock market is just making, and stock market and the Federal Reserve are making it a bit too difficult to to like say for sure if we got into a recession, or if we just, it was a quick recession and then we bounce back. Let's look at this on the bigger picture. But as I said, the Federal Reserve is making it very difficult to navigate with their policy, which they're saying they're not gonna run out of anymore, and they're just getting started. And their balance sheets, I mean, of course, their balance sheet is always like fragmented so that you never like calculate exactly the whole thing. But I mean, you can estimate. Of course, the one that I showed, I think, last video, like the just the bonds, the U.S. securities, specifically the 3 billion one, because they also have the, anyways, the other one that I showed in that video. Anyway, um, in that one, like it doubled in the last 2 months, which is huge, doubling in that 2 months. From 3 trillion, it became like 7 trillion. It's a bit double. I'm not like checking the numbers anymore, because believe me, there isn't like a big difference between moving like 2 times or 2 times and a half. It's all a big problem. It shouldn't happen. Probably we should get back. Trillion was a number that wasn't used in money before 28, unless you're talking about Zimbabwe or stuff like that. It wasn't like $1 trillion, even a trillion. I think my local currency wasn't even something that we would talk about. And of course, like the dollar is much more expensive, so trillions of dollars in US dollar is too much, was too much, and now it's just something that they add to circulation in a week, and that's a bit troublesome. Just go to something else, maybe here, going back to Bitcoin, because at the same time where this is happening, we can see basically there is a growth, a clear growth here between April 2020. This is grayscale. Okay, this is a fund basically that people can get exposure to Bitcoin with from traditional stock markets. And right now, like just in April was around as you see, 2 billion, and now we have 3.5 billion. That's an increase of, going there, we're going to 100% increase. We're at 75 or something. So that's huge. It shows that at the same time we see that money is moving into this space. This is of course not the only metric, but it's just one of them to show what's going on. This is giving us, like, just here in the news where we see Paul Tudor Jones buys Bitcoin. He said he allocated 2% of his net worth, and these are like really big things. It's showing us like a shift in the momentum, and probably we're gonna have that bulls winning this fight, because how many bitcoins can be sold? We know there's a limit. We know it can't just like, it can't at some point become like 40 or 50 million bitcoins re-input. It's always going to be less than 21 million, and of course now we have 17 or 18 million. 19. But for in terms of buyers, like, sky is the limit, especially with the reserve. It's injecting a lot of money in circulation, and all that money is can possibly go in Bitcoin. So basically, the question would remain: if you believe that Bitcoin's market capitalization is going to be worth more than 175 billion, you believe that, then this is a good time to buy. If you're gonna wait 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, but that's the problem. We don't know how much the bottom is gonna be. You need to find that bottom. And for us as active traders, like we're gonna be anyway. We in those big moves, we're gonna be there, and we're gonna profit from that. But of course, we don't want to lose money in the meantime, or just stay in a big drawdown until that happens. And yeah, that bottom is basically the new equilibrium price in the current phase, because before we agreed that okay, 10K probably looks like a fair valuation of the price, and now we're getting into a bullish territory. We have increasing volume and all that. We had that like environment that's telling us that, so we're going up. Now it's different after this crash, so we're looking for this new price, this bottom, whatever it's gonna be. Probably 8.5, between 8.5 and 8. But whatever it is, at that point, once we get into the bull market, it's going to be explosive. We're going to really enjoy it, and a lot of profits are going to be made for those who stay patient. Okay, I'll go back. I'll go to something else. This is interesting. The guy who wrote the book of I forgot. I think one of them was The Social Network. The guy who wrote that movie, the book based on which the movie was created, and the other movie of Kevin Spacey, 21. It's a blackjack movie. It's pretty fun. It was also based on this writer, and now he's writing a book, and he wrote already a book about Bitcoin, about the Winklevoss brothers, and now they're moving it. They're gonna make it into a Hollywood movie, and I think it's gonna be big. And I think the cultural, like the popular culture, is very important. Art is very important. It's the way humanity keeps its like print once we leave. Humanity, like art, is very important, and seeing this getting into popular art, it's very, it's I think it's a very bullish thing. Something else also, like stuff like that happened. I didn't get through everything that happened in the last 2 weeks, but they were mostly bullish. That's the thing. Like we can see that whatever is going on, it's actually just improving, like going to the side of the bulls instead of the bears. But I said after the bottom, we're gonna have a bottom. We might need to flush around 8.5 or 8 before getting that bullish trend. But once we get that, I think it's gonna be pretty really long. It's gonna take a few.
Yeah, I agree with you, boss. I agree. We need to see that bit of correction before the big move.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but this one ETP is this exchange traded product in Europe, in the European stock market. They're gonna use BitGo as their custody. That's pretty good news. It's been approved in Germany. It's good. Maybe yeah, just. Okay, just this is yeah, somebody I respect in his analysis, and yeah, he thinks we're in a big bad bubble. I think he's right. I'm talking, of course, about the stock market in the short term. I mean, the bubble is gonna pop, it might pop and hurt, but at the same time, because right now, even like a logical, I mean, what I expect here is it's gonna be something like that. I mean, I'm expecting something like that, and then we're gonna, and this is gonna be hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot because we like basically got back to where we were. So a dump from here, like maybe half of this one, is gonna still hurt a lot. So people want to be careful at this point. But I think the stock market is gonna, it has like based on the Federal Reserve policy, I think maybe that's the thing. Uncertainty. We still need more data. This is very hard to navigate in the long term right now with this current situation. Okay. Just talking here, I'm just gonna talk about our new business that we are involved in as shareholders and the development team and all that. It's maybe some of you would be interested in it. Some of you wouldn't like need this, and yeah, for those who this might be for them, we have another video about it. I really like the concept a lot, and I really think it's gonna be, it has the potential to be a big success. And it has a pretty unique affiliate program associated to it. So for those of you interested who might like, be interested in partner up as affiliates, you just pick an affiliate and go there. Yeah, I'll just move to you, Victor, maybe.
All right,
Um,
I'm here.
yeah, we have some questions there, like
Okay.
relevant questions we might answer, and maybe we're.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure we have any question. I don't know. Can you check the YouTube? I
Yeah,
think some.
yeah. I've been looking around. I didn't see here like some questions that we need to answer. Maybe next time. Still have a few more minutes, maybe. Mm.
All right.
Mhm. Okay, I can't see really some questions here. Some.
Someone asked a question here,
Mhm.
and it's like, "Hi Nabil, I've transferred my funds to Eureka Light Wallet, and I cannot purchase ad packs within my Eureka Club. Can I use Eureka Light and coin payment to stake within Eureka Exchange?" That was on YouTube.
Yeah, for my Eureka Club, they're all votes. It's sold out now. Sorry for that, but maybe we're gonna introduce them later on. For yeah, if you can stake in Eureka X, we have this basically like you can we created this one as another way for staking that's based not only on staking but something else. 20% of the profit of Eureka X plus all that Eureka that's put there is put into staking nodes plus our amazing algorithm, amazing uh, bot trading, arbitrage bot trading. That's like it's almost done. It's getting there. It's very close to being launched, to being used, and um, yeah, that one, it's going to be used to do some arbitrage trading, and the profit from there, from the arcade that's put in Eureka X is going to be shared. So these three things are going to be shared in this Eureka X stake, which is going to be basically like another way to stake your ERK. Yeah, and if you want to do that, yeah, just use coin payments or Eureka Lite. Yeah, these were the ones you mentioned. Yeah, so yeah, feel free to do that, Louis. Thanks for your question.
Okay. Nabi, I think you've not touched about creating around the trading area. That's
Yeah,
the,
yeah. Sorry, guys, a lot going on. Our business partner in the Impulse X team is working on a new website that we're excited in, and we're gonna be involved, me and Victor, in it. And yeah, it's gonna be we're gonna have some products there uh, that are based on trading. So maybe I shouldn't maybe say too much right now. Let it until
and
whatever.
I think
Market.
so many of our subscribers on YouTube are not yet inside the Telegram channel, the various free channels. The Telegram channels are actually free, so we're going to link. We're going to leave the links on the
Exactly.
description
Yes,
of.
the art signals channel. Yeah. We do that. Yeah. Put it in
Right.
a native video, and yeah,
Right.
feel free to join us
I'm
there.
sure there are no more questions for now.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, this person asked earlier, I think a crypto Mansik is what happened when my art pack expired. I think he's talking about Eureka, my Eureka club now or something. So what happens when my art pack expire? Basically,
yeah.
as expire, you move it to Eureka X to stake them, right? I think that's the best answer there.
Exactly. Yeah, you can choose to move it to your cache.
All right, that's the only questions I'm seeing for now.
That's good. So yes, I'll just give a little maybe shout out to this website as well, which or these two maybe. Um, oh, we have originalauction.com. I like the idea behind it, and we're involved in this one as well as shareholders. And yeah, uh, basically artists. So yeah, I'm just gonna scroll back to another thing, and of course, Eureka Move, where we added an affiliate program as well to Eureka Move. We are shareholders in this one. It has a very dedicated, amazing team that's behind Eureka Move. I'm really excited for what Eureka Move would do throughout the next months. This is I'm sorry, my computer is my internet today. I don't know. I'm so happy I could get over all the live. It's been cutting all day. But yeah, just um,
Eureka Move properties keep growing every day. The properties keep adding.
Yep, and yeah, I don't know what was working earlier. So yeah, so maybe later, or maybe I need to check. Okay. So yeah, it was just browser. So yeah, the idea is this: it's an auction online. You just artists, individual artists, put their their arts, and yeah, people can bid on those ones. And basically, it's a marketplace for the first step of like arts is basically like where uh, artists from all over the world share their art for sale. Yeah, with that said, maybe I'll just stop sharing, and maybe we're gonna say goodbye to everybody who's watching. Thanks for watching. Maybe Victor, a few words we have, and then we wrap up.
Right. I think it's a long. We already 1 hour. We've spent around. We've spent above 1 hour already,
Yeah.
and hopefully we'll be doing this. We'll be doing this weekly. Hopefully, and we'll try to cover as much as we can. Definitely, from my side here, and I think that's all for now, and I'll hopefully catch you guys next week.
Thanks, Victor. Thanks, everybody who's watching. Let's see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.